BANTER with my son, Rich Carucci. Rich!
All right, welcome to BANTER with your host, me, Rich Carucci. Tonight's guest, Chris Murphy, comedian extraordinaire. How you doing, Chris?
I'm not extraordinary, but I'm all right. I have to live up at that billing of extraordinaire.
No. Well, you know, when I think of New York...
Nothing worse than you give me an intro that I can't possibly follow.
I think of comedy in the city. I think of you. You've been doing it. You're out there every night doing comedy. Who were some of the people you started with?
Chaplin. He was no. I guess when people ask that question, you always gotta automatically say the people who are famous.
Right.
So, because that's who people will know. Because if I just say, some guy's name, well, who the hell is that? So, Judah Friedlander.
Right.
He made it.
Yeah.
Jay Moore made it. Attell made it. The list goes on, except for me.
Well, you know what? What's making it?
Yeah, exactly.
Are
What
you
is
living your
making
dream,
it?
You know?
No. Probably because I never had a dream. That was a problem. If I really thought the whole dream through, maybe I'd be living it a lot better. But I'm not living a nightmare, so that's good. It's somewhere in the middle. It's like I think I'm the most successful failure you can be. Like the most successful you can be as a failure in comedy.
I don't know about that. I see you working hard, and
Yeah.
Your material's great.
Thank
I
you.
love your material. Very smart. Also, people that aren't comics don't understand. Like it's like a camaraderie. Like, do you know what I mean? Like we have our cliques each club does, and I've seen you in there, and you've helped me out too. Where this is one thing people won't understand when you're a comic and you're up there. Your other comic friends help you with taglines, but I see you do that a lot. You gave me some of the biggest laughs I've got. I see you do it to other people. Do you do that? Like, do you do it for pay because you're good at it? I mean,
I do it for pay, but not when I'm doing with my comic friends. But at those moments, no. But I do coach people. But if I was hearing a comic say something, I really like to give it away for free because I think that comes back in the long run.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially if they're my friend,
Well, you gave me some great ones.
I mean, the first thing I think of is like, oh man, that's funny. And I'm thinking, how can I use that? But I can't because it's that person's joke. But that's my first reaction. And then I go, no. And then I walk up to the guy, hey, maybe if he's, first I say that was funny. Because you want to give the comic a compliment. Mm-hmm. And then you say, hey, did you ever think about doing it this way? Or you can add on to this. Because we just don't see our material because we're so close to it. Go, oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've seen it a lot. And also, who are some of the people that make you laugh? Who makes you laugh? Like,
no comedians.
No comedians.
That's for sure. No.
like I had one of the funniest guys I knew was a garbage man that I grew up with. He was great. I mean, he passed away from 9/11, but he was a funny guy.
Those are the funny guys. But nowadays, those regular people don't make me laugh either because when they're trying to be funny, when they don't know they're being funny.
Right.
Actually, when Mike Bichetti is not trying to be funny, he is hilarious. When he's funny by accident, he makes me laugh. As far as comedies are concerned, I love watching Seinfeld. Just for the craftsmanship of it.
Absolutely.
I go, all right, how did he craft that joke? I know he spent hours doing that. Yeah. So he's one. And Brian Regan just makes me laugh. Yeah. An old friend of mine, his name is Dan Vitale. He's a naturally gifted person. He's really a natural. He's very, very funny. So he's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. No, that's great.
You know how many comics run there going, hey, how about me?
Yeah. But like when I grew up, I think it was what I liked. I remember Red Fox had the Party album, and I remember as a kid, and then Cheech and Chong, and then I got Pryor, and then even Buddy Hackett. But I like W.C. Fields. Like who were the guys that got you going when you were younger?
The first person to make me laugh, like I knew that was a thing, was Bill Cosby. This album he had it was called Bill Cosby's Wonderfulness. It was a picture of him on a go-kart. And my mother and I were on the bed just laughing hysterically. And there were very few moments I can remember laughing with my mother, only a handful of times, because, she wasn't always a jolly person. She had 4 kids on welfare and a father who laughed or beat her, whatever. So there's nothing to laugh at.
Right.
And I just looked at her amazed, like, oh my God, I never saw my mother laugh that hard. I said, what did this guy do to make those? Now, I was not always thinking it right then, but I'm thinking right now, all right, I must have been put together. This guy did something for my mother that absolutely no one else could do to make her laugh when her world it really was crap. And she would always remind us, which is probably why I never had a family.
Irish?
Of course, yeah. You kids! I heard all you kids. I go, oh, I mean,
yeah. And Irish have a lot of kids. My mother's one of 8 or something.
Do what? 8?
My mother's one of like 8 or something.
Oh my God, yeah. So my mom stopped before.
How have you seen comedy change? Because you've been in it, and you're in New York doing it, where it's at the moment it changes, whatever. But how have you seen it change?
The merit system.
The merit system.
It was the merit system when I started, and then it became if you have a room or who you know. So I missed both of them, and also you had more experience you were back then. Rich, like the more they wanted you. Now, the younger you are, the more they want. They want more potential. And there's a great line in a movie called "Someone Up There Loves Me," a Rocky Graciano story.
Right.
He goes into this like sweet shop and he gets a milkshake, whatever, and the guy behind the counter, he's bragging how this guy says, I have potential as a fighter. And he says, potential. Everyone who's young has potential. The world should sue the young for breach of promise.
That's
Great line.
Sounds like somebody Flip would say.
Yes, he probably has.
He probably has, yeah. No,
And I'm telling you, and there's so much potential out there, but who cares? Uncle Dirty, Bob Altman, you know who he is? He played the father, Karen's father, in a movie, the Goodfellas.
Okay,
Yeah, he once told me that potential is no credential. But it is now. It seems like they're kind of riding high on the potential. So that's something I never. It was always like you had to pass at a club. I was lucky enough to pass at the Improv. Fortunately, Silver liked me, and Silver Friedman, and she was great to me, and I passed there. The Comic Strip and the Catch were street clubs, and a bunch of open mics where other comics are watching each other. It was very hard to get good. Now with the bringer shows, you can get good in front of a real audience.
It's true.
It didn't have that. It was like they were just kind of starting when I was around, and I never wanted to be the guy who was producing a show. I wanted to be the guy that producers wanted on the show.
Nice. And the Barker thing, that was before. You remember?
I might have been one of the first Barkers. Actually,
I think I was too at Hav.
I was at Boston Comedy Club.
Okay, I was at Hav for first Gladys.
Kevin Brenner was the
I just saw him a couple weeks.
Monday night MC.
How funny is he, man?
Yo, he's great, and he was so nice to me. He was so nice to me. He paid me $20.
And the money hasn't gone up. I'll tell you that.
No, it hasn't. And gave you spot number 4. The money will not ever go up because we love it too much, and we're being taken advantage of by about our passion for it. And every single person who was a comic who bitched about it and who became an owner did the exact same thing. Because why wouldn't you? It's right there. Because we're stupid. We're not going to strike because some of the guys are going to take the place. They won't be as good as us, but it doesn't matter.
There's a million comics.
So we made our bed, now lie in it. Meyer Lansky once said, this is the life we chose.
That's what I always say, right? With comedy, when I'm on the road, I missed the Super Bowl because I was driving for one. We did something for the staff. And I said, I can't complain. This is the life I chose. This is what I get.
Right.
Holidays away, stuff like that.
So that's how comedy's changed the most, I think. It's much easier to be a beginner.
Yep, you're right.
It's so much easier because you get stage time. Yeah.
Right.
You're bombing in front of like real people, and so you can really figure it out. I had a bomb in front of other comics, and I wasn't sure if it was funny or not.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
It's rough.
It was much harder to tell.
Now,
There's also more road work back then.
There was less comics, but also now this whole YouTube and you got these internet sensations that are coming out, filling places because of course the guy from Haas said, Anthony said, the day poetry sells out a room, you're all poets. So that's how the club owners look at it, but they got it. But these YouTube people come out, they're packing. I opened for one guy, Al the Sicilian guy. First show out there was a Wednesday night. He had like 250 people at like $40 a head.
How did he do?
They were there to see him. He rocked the place.
Great, yeah.
He had screens put up with videos. He spent like $3,000. Did it, but I mean, these guys are coming out. These women and these men.
It's kind of bright when you think about it. It's kind of skipping the middleman. Why bash your head against the wall for 20 years to get
Vic,
ever credit?
Papato, 30 years, bash his head. One video.
One video,
and,
and now he has people come out to see
God
him.
bless him.
Whereas years ago, if he was doing a show, they were coming to see comedy. They weren't coming to see Vic DiPatetto.
And he was funny then.
Anyway, yeah, that's when you know you're funny, when you can make people laugh who weren't coming out to see you.
Yeah.
Pete Curry always once told me that when you're on stage, sometimes you'll have like 30% of the crowd really getting you. That's your crowd.
So you've seen so many people. You've gotten the advice from actual working comedians because I know people out there, and it's funny. I was at a place one time with a comedian who's pretty famous now, and somebody had mentioned something about so and so told me how to do this, and the comedian looked at me and said, "Yeah, they've been giving comedians bad advice for 20 years," and it was hilarious because I got it because I don't want to mention names, but it's true. You're actually out there working, so you're getting it from the people. I mean, I see you out there all the time. What's your favorite clubs? What do you like? 'Cause
Oh, well, right now, I guess it has to be Broadway Comedy Club.
isn't that the greatest? I love Greenwich too. Al's great.
Greenwich also, I mean, he just always, there's always people there. And the kind of people who go to that club also go to late night TV shows as tourists. So when you walk in there, you're making people, hey, to hell with different parts of the country, different parts of the world.
Yes.
So your act becomes universal. When I went to England, there was no problem whatsoever adjusting.
Well,
I just did
you got
my
a great act too.
Well, it comes from one to be liked so much. So I just made it more
And it's
universal.
clean.
It is clean.
Because clean plays everywhere. I watch you, and I'm like, he's great.
I don't look clean. I know.
No. And it's funny, it's clean, and it's clever. And when you get up there, you get him, and you misdirection. I love it. It's
right.
It does well. And I host a lot of shows, so I wait for you. I say, all right, Chris is on, and we strategically set up the show so we know where it's going to go. So I love that, and you know what I love about Broadway and Greenwich? Two different type of audiences. Two great clubs,
right?
And they're major clubs in the city, and that's we're getting up to do this stuff, and
yeah, I like the comic strip too because I it was my first experience ever going to a club.
Really?
Was the comic strip?
Who'd you go see?
I saw Seinfeld.
Oh.
Before he was famous. So yeah, Jimmy Brogan and Paul Reiser, and it seemed like there was always stars coming out of the comic strip. So when I play there now, I go, hey, like some guy last night. There was he's a kid. Well, me a kid's 20, whatever, and he was asking me questions about comedy, and he looked at me like he was really like in awe. I go, wow, that was me, And I was talking to those guys.
Yeah.
The only difference is I didn't go above, I didn't get my own TV show like other guys did. But, yeah. Well, that's what keeps us in.
Yeah,
That word yet
Absolutely.
Can I curse?
Yes.
The word yet will fuck you up your whole entire life.
Absolutely.
In comedy. Oh, yet. Because that's what keeps us going, man.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, there's no reason to get up in the morning. If you don't have any kind of hope,
absolutely.
Go like that.
Get to live our dreams. Now, where did you grow up?
I was born in Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, up in the really?
Yes.
Okay.
And grew up in Irvington, named after Washington Irving.
Okay.
He was America's first celebrity, by the way, and that's the picture right here. That's Sunday in Sleepy Hollow.
No way.
So I brought a little Sleepy Hollow to my home, and
Right.
great place to grow up. I didn't know what was growing up. I thought it was a nightmare because my friends were all millionaires, legitimate millionaires back in the day. We were on welfare. No one knew, but they probably knew.
I'm sure they knew, but
I think
better off not knowing if you're not.
I didn't think about it. I think my mother sent me to Catholic school only because of the uniform.
I
didn't have to pay for extra clothes.
I think the poorer you are, the more religious you are too, though.
Yeah, because whenever you're down and out, you always want to look up. Oh, will somebody help me?
Yeah.
You need help, so you just look to a God.
See, the Irish part of me looked up to God. The Italian part would do all kinds of shit all week and then come and sit in the front row and throw some money in the basket. We're all forgiven. But what got you into comedy?
I was always funny since the second grade. I think because I was a sickly kid, and I was always like getting attention. I was the youngest. Then when you're in school, hey, why aren't I getting this? Don't you know who I am? I'm supposed to get special attention here. And the easiest way to do it was be funny. And also, because I was sick, I was always behind on my work. And the nuns always took enough time to call me stupid.
Good old nuns.
They weren't helpful at all.
Totally politically.
The hell with it. Yeah. So I was, and they did the kids now.
Oh, they've been hitching. I had the nuns like
a lawsuit.
That. Yeah, I know.
So that's what got me into it. And I watched David Brenner on television and go, I can do that. Not to belittle what he did, but he was a tall, thin guy who smiled a lot.
Where'd you go up first? First time.
First time, God, I think it was a club. Oh, I'm trying to remember. It might have been Good Times.
Good Times. I remember hearing about Good Times. Now,
But then I stopped
Okay.
because I was really young, and then I came back. Then the first time was actually the Triple Inn.
the Triple Inn. Where in God's name was it?
That was on 54th Street,
54th.
across the street from Studio 54.
Ah.
Studio 54 was not around when I went on, but I heard people used to go there because they couldn't get into 54, so all the people would be pissed off and go over there. But
Great crowd for comedy.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Basically, it was mostly, it was very gay, it was very basic show tunes, but they had a crowd.
Yeah.
And I knew about it, so listen, I'm gonna bomb. Let's get out of the way. I know I'm gonna bomb. I went up there and I bombed, and then I kept bombing until I got it right.
Well, you sure got it
different
right.
places, and I got lucky enough to pass at the Improv.
Where do you see comedy going? Is it getting ruined? Political correctness or the millennials videos? What's it? Because now it's different. It's not like all set up and punch. It's all kinds of different stuff is considered comedy. Where you've seen it change over the years. Now, how have you seen it change, and where do you see it going?
Well, what you just said is true. There's all different kinds of comedy because there's so many different types of people who are into comedy. It was before only one type was. Now everyone seems to be. So it's all different kinds of shows for everyone. And when you said where you see it's going, I was never good at forecasting. If it was, I wouldn't be living here.
Well, all right, Chris. How could people get in touch with you, watch your stuff, reach out to you? What do we
I guess
do?
Instagram's the best way. Chris Murphy, comedian. And can I say one quick thing
Absolutely.
about how this is the typical comic? If you want to know what a comic's really like, go on a road trip with them and sit in the back. Two comics in a car, driving to a road gig. You will know everything you have to know about comedy because you would swear there isn't anyone else funny in the world other than those two comedians.
Well, that's the other show we have, Road Banter. So
Oh, there you go.
There
Well,
you go.
there you go.
And we'll have you on that. But so we could see your weekly Broadway, Greenwich.
Yeah, mostly Broadway Comedy Club, Greenwich Village Comedy Club, the New York Comedy Club on Saturdays and Sundays.
Which is great. That used to be part of the Al Martin. Remember, I used
The Al
to
Martin
love that.
Empire, yes.
I love Al Martin. I love his club.
But now I'm going to give Emilio a shout out.
All right, there you go. All right, Chris Murphy, check him out. He's a great comic, funny, and awesome dude. This is Rich Carucci. Thank you for watching Banter.
In that order.
Bam. Thank you.
All right.
See, nice and easy.
Oh, that was easy.
We'll edit it. We'll send it to you.